necessarily on a professional level. Like there's lots of things in my personal life that I want to do, like um, that would be nice to have a little bit more time to explore.
Yeah.
But it could be worse. You know what I mean? I think I'm in a really good position where, um, I really enjoy what I do as my day job, and that sort of like gives me the ability to have a professional career. Whereas if I was like working a 9 to 5 or working in an office, I can't really make sense of how that would be an option for me. So
Yeah.
I think that like, when I'm done fighting and I've got kids, I'm going to be in a position where I can make my own time, make good money, spend time with my family and explore the other things in life that like, are enriching to me. And I think that's really important because that's what I'm doing now. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like I actually can make time to do the things in life that I want to do.
Now I know you love playing golf as well. Is that like something that you want to like, like I think a lot of fighters and athletes in general, like when they're so obsessed and honed in on their craft, and they lose out on doing other recreational kind of things that almost complement fighting. Like, do you find
Mm.
like when you're out playing golf and working on your swing, it's something that's like mentally freeing and it allows you to be able to go back into the gym and and not be stressed out about fighting and not be stressed out about your career because you have those other outlets to kind of physically kind of work on things.
Yeah, so this is like I'm going into my third season golfing. Like I had played a little bit like here and there before, but like I didn't even own a set of clubs or anything like that. And the reason that I wanted to do something else was because um, I felt like training all day and then coaching and being surrounded by all the time. Like I was getting to the point where like I didn't want to go home on Saturday night and watch fights. I didn't want to talk about it. I didn't want to think about it. And I felt like I needed a hobby that was something else. So when I got into golf, like it's golf is an extremely difficult game. It's
Yeah, I
extremely
know.
hard. It's extremely frustrating. And but now I'm like completely obsessed. I love it. I'm god awful at it, but like it's just really fun for me, and there is something really nice. And I feel this way about training too. Like when I'm on the mats, like I don't have my phone with me. I don't think about anything else. It's like a good like release. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
to just focus on something else. And I feel that same way when I'm on the golf course. And I think that it kind of gives me a break from thinking about it. It puts me into like a different world where it's not like completely my identity, and it's like it gives me the opportunity to kind of reset a little bit and like you
just
know it
be more
it is
human,
time
man. Yeah,
consuming, but it's
yeah,
like it's one of those things where it's like I needed something else to put some of my time, and it's a little bit easier on my body as well, you know what I mean?
yeah.
So it's not like if I was going to do rock climbing or something like that, it would just be another stressor on my body, or you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
I know. Well, do you find that you kind of on some of the days where you're a little worn out, you're like, let me just go play golf, get a little teeny movement in, and then the next day you're actually like really good to get back in the gym and train hard. Do you find that you kind of use it for that kind of purpose?
yeah, and like even if I got like like a couple hour break in my day, I'll go and hit like a bucket of balls and just kind of, it's just something that you enjoy. And I think in life it's important to kind of make time for that type of stuff. I think it's
Yeah,
really
yeah,
actually.
and it's nice that you said that because I've done that too. Like you were saying is like I was so obsessed with MMA for the longest time, and I'll watch fights every week, and I almost find myself now like I'm so obsessed with other hobbies.
Uh,
Uh, I don't watch I don't watch fights
yeah,
now. People will be like, "Yo, you see that fight?" I'm like, no, I saw the highlight, but I
yeah,
didn't watch because like some people know I'm obsessed with fucking Lego, so I was like the last pay per view, everyone was watching the pay per view, and I was like, I'm gonna turn that pay per view on. But then I started doing leg. I took my CBD oil, I got a little high, and I'm doing fucking Lego. I'm like, oh shit, it's 12 o'clock. The fights are done, and
that's funny.
I found the same thing happened with archery. I always thought about doing it, and I'm like, one day I'm like, fuck it, let me go spend the money and buy a bow. And
Good.
then I find like on days where I'm like, when you have those conflicting days where you're like you're a little fucking tired, you maybe didn't get good sleep,
Uh,
but you're like you had this plan to train twice, but you're like, fuck, that might not happen. Then I find like, okay, I'll go out, I'll shoot my bow, because it is physically demanding drawing the draw weight back and
yep.
a little sweat on, and I actually feel like the next day I'm way more prepared to train hard. Whereas if I had forced myself to kind of go into the gym that day and exhaust myself, then I wouldn't have I barely would have made that practice happen. and mentally it's de-stressing. You know what I mean? It's another
Yeah,
skill. It's another skill set. It's not as physically demanding as the sport that you have, right?
yeah, that's true. And the author of the Book of Five Rings says that if you want to master martial arts, you have to have mastery in all things in life.
Yeah, and
So
there you go.